So two announcements. There was a special class scheduled for the GS environment questions. So many people are preparing for the Unacademy test tomorrow. So they have requested, sir, Sunday ko kar lijiye. So people are doing that for Sunday. So I'm shifting that for Sunday. Do we get that? So today evening we are not keeping that special session which we had kept on environment PYQs. Tomorrow we have environment PYQs test. Is everyone okay? So that is the first thing which I want to tell you. Special session. Environment PYQ for 2022. This will be on Sunday, 8 p.m. Is everyone okay? That is tomorrow. So that was first thing which I wanted to share. Second thing is some people have been submitting more of their work. I can see their work, and I think Rajesh covered. I like that work, and all others keep working. Get that? And all others who are feeling that एक answer से क्या होगा? Make small things grow. Bring harmony in your preparation. How do I know whether your preparation is going on track or not? When you start doing those small little things, that tells me that harmony is there. Get that? Otherwise, your big dream is getting hijacked by small little things. And it is happening very, very normal to most of the students. So it's like a barometer which tells me how's the health of my student and how's the health of his or her preparation. So I use that barometer, and I would request you to continue working on that. Is everyone okay with this? Are you getting the signal? Are you able to listen to me? Yes. So with this, I want to start today's class with this invitation that if you think that nobody knows where my preparation is going, your participation tells me a lot. So your participation tells me whether things are going in harmony for you or not. Is everyone okay? And when things are going in harmony, you will find your own progress improving. How many of you feel that you've been submitting whatever is possible, and with every submission, your progress, your confidence, and your participation is improving? Improving or not? So that has to be there. Okay, so people who feel that my writing skill is not good, bad, whatever, start doing that. And very, very important, keep comparing. And soon you will find that, people who are consistently doing that, you will start seeing improvement in their work. And you would also see that I can reach up to this. So it happens slowly. No matter how much we talk, it won't happen. Take those baby steps and be confident and happy about those baby steps. Yes, Rome was not built in a day. So that's there. So welcome. Today we are talking about oceanography. I had shown you the syllabus. So what are we left with? We were left with an idea called ocean pollution, marine pollution, and coral reefs. And associated with coral reefs is a similar idea, more ecological idea, is coral bleaching. So these were two areas which I wanted to do today. Apart from that, we also have the idea of waves and tides. Now, waves and tides, there is a handout which I prepared for you. We will see how much and what we will be able to do with that. Yes, sir? Do we get that? So this is what we are talking about. Yes, sir, I have written some answer. I will upload it later. Madhukar, upload the assignment which are giving in time. आप कब क्या upload करें उसका कोई वो नहीं. There are certain assignments, so I'm not looking for answers. There are people, sir, I joined this coaching and my answers nobody evaluated. Sir, can I send you some? I'm not interested. We are giving you assignments. You do those assignments, and in those assignments, if there are some question answers, you get an opportunity to do that also. So please do that. That will help you. Get that? Okay. So harmony लाया जाए तो कैसे होगा? I'm scared that I will lose my confidence. Madhukar ये कह रहे हैं. Madhukar, it is not about you are scared you will lose your confidence. You told me that you've been preparing for last 2 years. Yes. And the answers which are coming in the class, they themselves have error. So you're not afraid of losing your confidence. You are afraid of losing some status which you have in your mind, that I know everything or I know this much. What will happen is that we don't want the bubble to burst. And as a result, inside there is lack of harmony. Outside we want to pose that there is harmony. Outside everything is sab changasi. True or not? Now I want to invite Madhukar and all others that let's be harmonious from within. Get that? Whatever our gaps are, if I go to I have seen, and this happens in real life. People after crossing an age, probably the age of my parents, when I ask them to go for a medical test, they say, "Yaar, koi na koi bimari aayegi, tension ho jayegi." If something comes in the diagnosis, we'll unnecessarily be worried, so we'll not get diagnosed. And we young people would make sure, no, you must diagnose. So we young means in my 40s I am young, you are in your 20s, super young. Yes. 20s and 40s wala bol raha hai, sir, if I give my answer, I will lose my confidence. Those people probably, old people, they've acquired a lot of respect and dignity. They worry, yaar, kuch galat hua to mera kuch, there is something to lose. As a student, you don't have anything to lose here. You have only things to gain. Yes. So please tell any good or book for geographical practical in English. I don't know what is geographical practical in English. If you know, site or book. What is geographical practical in English? Okay. So let's not go into anything of this sort. Geography practical क्या होता है? Geography practical. Do you know there is a NCERT for class 11th and class 12 which is called part 3. Part 3. It says practical work in geography. वो आपके किस काम का है? So NCERT 11th and 12th, they are not just 2 books. 11th has 3 books, 12th has 3 books. So geography, practical geography. So Urvi, NCERT is available. It will help you a lot. NCERT practical geography. एक और आया करती थी, I don't remember the full name. Bose practical geography by Bose होती थी. LR सिंह तो नहीं, आदिल सिंह है, but you don't need that. फिर वही वाली बात आपको copy paste करना है. I would say NCERT use करो part 3. Part 3 practical geography. Do we get that? And it has got good illustrations also, understanding also, and all practical things that are needed, mostly included. Everyone, so no more questions coming in. I thought, like if you have some doubts, that is there. And Monday say we are starting with a very, very important area, perspectives in human geography. Do not miss that. Do not miss that. Language will also be needed. Philosophy will also be needed. So वो अगर क्लास में है तो it is better that you are able to ask me rather than just collecting material. ठीक है? So that is what my invitation to all of you is. आज शुरू करते हैं एक पॉइंट ऑफ नॉन हार्मनी से, मरीन पोल्यूशन. मरीन पोल्यूशन. Anjali says time change नहीं हो सकता. Anjali, for this batch, no time change is possible. Yes, for paper 2, we are planning 3 o'clock. Post prelims will go 3 o'clock because of those colleges opening up. But for this batch, no change happening. Is everyone okay? So marine pollution. So क्या लगता है? What is marine pollution? Today we are talking about marine pollution, and let us draw a map also. Quickly, marine pollution. Whatever you know about it, कैसे होता है? क्या होता है? What is it? How is it happening? Marine pollution. Quickly, what do you know about marine pollution? Have you heard of it? मैंने आपको एक shared a video. Remember, bilge discharge. Ships' bilges are being discharged. Sewage, ocean acidification. चलिए अच्छी बात है. तो सीवेज आ गया हमारे पास. Later, tourism, oil spill, chemical wastes, marine accidents. Okay, perfect. So when I am talking about marine pollution, thank you, Kolami, for those industrial, agricultural waste and plastic. So plastic, industrial, agricultural waste, is radioactive discharge. Thank you for starting thinking. Now let me take you to the world of marine pollution. Bilge dumping स्नेहा डालना चाहती है, तो bilge dumping भी है. स्नेहा, bilge dumping is nothing but oil spill. Oil spill में आएगा वो. ठीक है? Hazardous material taken. Thank you. Now everyone, tell me one thing. Just by this preliminary act of brainstorming, do we gain a lot of confidence? See, I have not started teaching. You have not done anything. We have written marine pollution. We have drawn a map, and we have some points. Now, honestly tell me, since your school days, wasn't this what you needed for an answer? How is it that things have changed? How is it that we have lost confidence? How is it that we are so dependent on things? Remember, school में एक ही चीज था. Will we have some content to expand and elaborate upon? तो पहला तो ये होना चाहिए. First step. I'm saying this is a baby step. लोगों के पास ये भी नहीं है. This is a baby step. First step is this sheet should be with you. अच्छा. I have heard, a disaster happened here. The disaster, what was the name of the disaster? Deep Horizon. I've heard that. Then I also told you Alaska के पास, if you remember, pollution happened. Alaska में Exxon Valdez. We were looking at disasters. True. Now I'm saying either Ankleshwar and Gujarat, Gulf of Khambhat, बहुत सारा oil है, इधर निकलने का chance रहता है. Persian Gulf, remember Persian Gulf, lot of chance of oil pollution. Red Sea में भी oil pollution हो जाता है. In the oceans, when you dump oil, possible इधर हो जाता है. Developing world, they leave it like this. And then you never know China कब क्या निकाल रहा है. I'm putting a question mark on China. True or not? Do we get it? So I'm looking at, I have some points, some ideas with me, and if those ideas are not there, then it's a problem. Is everyone with me on this? So that's what I want everyone to think and link. So when we say that people don't have any idea, then that's wrong. We all have some idea. But this baby step may not be enough for a high scoring answer. It is a start, but not enough for a high scoring answer. Is everyone with me on this? Now tell me, you are doing GS, you are doing other subjects also. Does any of the teacher ask you and tells you that you have something in you, pehla ye hona chahiye? Are they not just filling up your mind with their ideas? Yes. And are their ideas only their ideas, or by virtue of the fact that for so many years they have been reading, so they have collected them? So can we say information collected by someone is being passed on to you, and the teacher is doing the job which Wikipedia does, and teacher has human limitations? True or not? And that is what we have started calling as education. But I don't know whether that is education or not. I would definitely say that is dissemination of information. Information is being disseminated. Information is being disseminated, and the funny part is they overload you with an information, and you suddenly feel that I don't know what to do. So first of all, is everyone sitting in my class? Are you zero on information? You already have some information. Would you be? Would you be confident enough, courageous enough to have this brainstorming done? And did it take a long time? Did it take long time? I just said, like, let's have this. Itna kar le. Now, if you meet a teacher, and with all due respect to all the teachers, I'm not saying any teacher is good or bad. I'm just saying, with all due respect to all teachers, when they are giving you information, you can add on to what is missing, and at the same time, you can talk to them on analysis also. That will make learning more important. And my way of looking at the exam is, I do 100%, you also do your 100%. True. So let us go into what is marine pollution, and let me add to your information. First, I'll add to your information, but I wanted to tell you and give you confidence. Keep me information so you have any given day. Any given day, you have it. Okay. So let me give you an idea which I wanted to share. So the first idea which I have is that oceans are too big to be polluted. They cover 70% of Earth. Yes or no? 70% of Earth. Humans or human footprints can impact the coastal areas. Deep sea, deep oceans are immune. And last is, nature restores equilibrium. Nature restores equilibrium. Oceans can be the garbage or waste bins of planet, because solution to pollution is dilution. Old erroneous belief. True or not? I would somewhere call this belief as deterministic, that nature will take care. Is everyone okay? Can I say erroneous? It is wrong. Oceans are too big to be polluted. We have proved this wrong. Oceans are polluted. Not only surface, even the ocean bottoms, the deepest of the parts, we have found garbage later. Mariana Trench may be, I want to tell you, Mariana Trench also has got plastic waste or catching. Do we get that? Second is, human footprints can impact coastal areas only. Deep oceans are very far off. Human beings in a technological world, we are living in Anthropocene. Anthropocene footprints are beyond everything. Anthropocene footprints are super footprints. Do we get that? These footprints are not only on the planet, all parts of the planet, but they even go beyond that. The third thing is, nature will solve the problem. Solution to pollution is dilution. Ocean is so big, if you throw something, nothing will happen. But first of all, this pollution, its amount, its intensity, in terms of toxicity, corrosiveness, etc. Its amount, its intensity, and its rate of addition is such that nature is not able to cope. True or not? Do we get that? So have I challenged the old beliefs? How can I know that? That I want to tell you that in this dilution era, can I call it the dilution era? Dilution era has been proved wrong by very simple words. Eutrophicated dead zones in ocean. Do we have dead zones? There are multiple dead zones. ढूंढिए dead zones कहां पर है? सब जगह मिलेगा. There are dead zones in the oceans, and there are great garbage patches in the oceans. Pacific garbage patch. Yes or no? Pacific में सुना आपने garbage patch? Almost everyone has in the center. It's just that North Atlantic we call it what do we call it? The sargassum sea, because there is weed. But otherwise, this is what is happening over there. So almost 400 dead zones. जब मैंने last देखा था तो 400 dead zones की बात थी. Many we haven't seen. So is everyone okay with this? Is everyone okay with this? So how did it happen? So what happened? How did this happen? What are the sources? What are the sources? When you're writing this answer, my job, you will talk about point sources, non-point sources. Do we get point sources and non-point sources? Is everyone with me? Point sources, say for example, from a point, an effluent discharge of a city, effluent discharge in sea of a city, of a coastal city. Possible point source, point source. The mouth of a river, point source. Non-point source are what? Ships, oil spills. Can I say that? Non-point source. Do we get that? Even dumping sites, waste dumping sites. Everyone, everyone. Have I given you good points? Abhi tak have I given you good points? So have I added to your information? Everyone who knows about it, you brainstormed and I've given you something. Now I want to add something. How to make this answer different from GS? How to make this answer different from GS? Can I suggest you certain things? One will be map. Is everyone okay? Map will be there. Second one, do you remember Malthus? Do you remember limits to growth model? You can say human quest towards growth in Anthropocene has been challenged. There are numerous limits as suggested by the limits to growth model. So much so that even our waste generation can be a part of that. Do we get that? Number 3, do you remember Edward Ackerman? The population resource imbalance has shown up in form of marine pollution also. Population is so much, resources we are consuming, we are generating that, and who's polluting more? Remember the Egyptian type, India and all will be polluting more. Okay? Because but who will be polluting more chemically? I think the European ones, they are having more strong chemicals. Yes, so that's what we are talking about. Ye possible ho sakta hai. Now, is this answer, if I start my answer somewhere with this, I include my map, will it work or not? So one more thing. Can I say, I told you one very important philosophy, जो मैं आगे भी कहूँगा. Structuralism. What is structuralism? Your economic structure. Remember, capitalism is promoting what? Consumerism. Consumerism is producing a lot of waste. Capitalism, consumerism problem. Do we bring it or not? Now tell me, will a GS student be writing this? No, he will not be writing this. But an optional student must know how to integrate them. How would you integrate them? I would like to see. Okay. And is this done? No, answer is not done. I just started it. Use and throw culture. Bilkul sahi hai, yes. So we can bring in use and throw culture. Unsustainable, limits to growth. Humans are entering into unsustainable territory. All those environment geography, those philosophies, biogeography, those philosophies, please bring them in. Homeostasis. Can we say we have gone beyond the limit? Ecological debt. कौन लाएगा ये चीजें? Or if you ask me, I can bring these ideas again and again. But what I'm saying is, the more you start including them in your answers, in your thinking, you will also mature. So people who are not very confident of their brainstorming now, that my brainstorming is very elementary, can you learn how to make this brainstorming stronger? Possible? Yes. So point sources की हम बात करें. Point sources. Can we list some point sources? Industrial effluents, coastal, city, waste disposal, river mouth. Do we get that? River mouth. Can we talk about this? So I want to tell you, industrial effluents, various places where oil exploration industry is there. We have seen oil. Okay. Another one I want to tell you. Have you heard of shipbreaking? In the world, we have the largest shipbreaking yard. आपने सुना हो तो Alang port, Alang in Gujarat. Alang is the biggest shipbreaking yard, and there is no standard to that. No standard. जहाज पकड़ के लाते, किससे लाते हो? तोड़ना, काटना, पीटना. उसमें से हम क्या निकालते? कबाड़ी निकालते. We'll extract all the kabada from that. Yes. Now, will that cause pollution or not? Will that cause pollution? Yes. Can I say some chemical factories? ये तो वैसे petrochem की बात की मैंने. Petrochem. Yes. Chemical fertilizer factories. ठीक है. सर कुछ एग्जांपल इसका? ओह यस, इसका एग्जांपल क्या होगा बच्चों? जल्दी से बताओ. हर एक चीज का एग्जांपल चाहिए ना मुझे. गल्फ ऑफ कच्छ. ये पोर्ट क्या है? कांदला पोर्ट. यहाँ पर कहाँ पर है? मेरे ख्याल से अलंग यहाँ पर है. प्लीज चेक वेयर इज अलंग. अलंग की लोकेशन आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल. यहाँ पर नियर भावनगर, तो उधर चला जाएगा. अलंग का लोकेशन विच मुझे ध्यान नहीं आ रहा. प्लीज चेक कर लो. What else? इधर आपने सुना अंकलेश्वर कोयाली, इधर गांधार है. Is everyone okay? Do we have an example? कांदला पोर्ट में आपको पता है? Do you know कांदला पोर्ट has a fertilizer plant? It's a petrochem also. और उसके अलावा यहाँ पे अडानी भी है, अंबानी भी है, जैसे ना सिक्का से लाया, that is there. Is everyone okay? तो मैंने आपको बता दिया, मुंद्रा पोर्ट भी ले लो, और अडानी का भी ले लो, एंड इनका सिक्का भी ले लो, सिक्का से लाया मुंद्रा. So I'm just saying that have I given you a place? एक और place, वर्ल्ड के लिए वर्ल्ड. Do you know this? Which continent is this? South America. And what is this Papu? If you remember Papu, what was Papu? Parana, Paraguay, Uruguay. Remember Parana, Paraguay, Uruguay? You did the foundation with me. And do you know they combined to form Rio de la Plata? Rio de la Plata, two capitals are there. One is Buenos Aires. Second is Buenos Aires के बाद किधर क्या? Montevideo. Do we get that? अब cities हैं, cities का waste भी जाएगा, river mouth भी है, आ गया pollution का case. Can we put that? You have that? और बताना चाहता हूँ. Venezuela. Venezuela में have you heard of a lake called Lake Maracaibo? Gulf of Mexico. Drilling rig, deep horizon. Do you have example for the world as well as India? World as well as India. People from West Bengal, Kolkata port, हल्दिया के पास pollution ही pollution है कि नहीं? Yes. आप जाते हो उधर बीच में. कौन से दो बीच हैं आपके उधर? कौन सा बीच है वो? What are the popular beaches? Diga beach. So when I went to Diga beach, and I went recently, I think a couple of years ago, 2021, I think I went to Diga and Mandarmani. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. इतना गंदा, इतना dirty beach. Yes. So Indian beaches दबा कर दो. Point sources, garbage, दबा के है कि नहीं? Mandarmani, Diga beach. मतलब I have traveled to so many coastal places, India and abroad. First time, I went over there because people said, sorry for the disturbance. Some drilling work going on. Am I audible now? Sorry for the disturbance. Okay. So when I went over there, I could Kolkata. I said, "Chalo jate hain." I've been to Haldia Port many a times. I know that is an industrial area. A lot of pollution will be happening over there. But when people told me, no, there is this beach, you should go, and Mandarmani and Diga. Kolkata आए हैं, beach भी देख कर आते हैं. I went over there and I said, come on, this cannot be a beach. This cannot be a beach. It is so dirty. It is so dirty. Yes, as it is, I want to tell you, the mouth of the river brings a lot of sediments. If you go to beaches in Pondicherry, beach in East Coast, beaches of West Coast, say Maharashtra, Kannada Coast or Goa Coast or either, you will not find all those sediments. So one is a natural reason. The sediment load is very, very heavy. Sediment load is very, very heavy. Because beaches are also not kept clean. True or not? And every time Modi ji will not go and collect, no. तो कभी-कभी फोटो खिंचवाते हैं. हर बार चलेंगे तो प्रॉब्लम है. True. Depend करता है उनका मूड क्या है. So that's what I'm trying to tell everyone. That huge challenge. So do we have examples? Everyone, do we have clear examples? ये होने चाहिए हमारे पास. If we have examples, people ask themselves कैसे बनाएंगे geography? बन गया geography. अब बताओ GS वाले को पता है? GS वाले को कुछ नहीं पता बेचारे. वो मासूम लेट कुछ नहीं जानता है. Have I covered coastal city? Sir, coastal city तो बताया नहीं. अरे Montevideo, Buenos Aires, capital बता दिया. River mouth अभी बता दिया. किसका बता दिया? गंगा का डेल्टा ले लो. And Indo Bangladesh. तुम्हें लगता है if India is not clean, Bangladesh would be clean? Yes. Garbage. Developing world. We see them as garbage bins. We don't see anything else. We see them as garbage bins, and that is happening. Is everyone okay? Point sources. समझ में आ गए? अच्छा. I also want to tell you that an interesting thing happened, that they were looking at radioactive waste. ठीक है. How do we dispose radioactive waste? One is an amazing way. You have seen how Uranium Corporation of India Limited does it in जादूगुड़ा. वो तो आपने देखा है. Amazing way. उठाया फेंका. कोई टेंशन. जो मर रहा है जी रहा है. That is there. And you know what they are saying? That these people are dying and whatever is happening because of their poverty, it has got nothing to do with this. In fact, we have opened one school and hospital. ऐसा बोल रहा था ना UCIL. For these tribals, killing them. In return, what do we have done? We've opened a school and hospital. Imagine amazing things. Then came the question that this pond should not be within the residence. It should be so many kilometers away. No answer for that. UCIL. So do I have to give examples of pollution? कुछ नहीं देने यार. ये तो चलता रहेगा. It is absolutely shameless. But in world, what is happening, everyone? You create boxes. Radiation proof boxes. Do we get that? Harsh is saying lead का बनाओ, किसी भी चीज से बनाओ, whatever you can think of, it is made up of that. And those boxes, you put in those nuclear wastes in that, so the radiations cannot go out, and you dump them in the oceans. Why do you dump them in the oceans? Well, they are to be dumped somewhere, so either in space or in oceans. So we decided to dump them in the oceans. So they are where? In the oceans. Now I want to tell you, this is done very, very responsibly. This is done very, very responsibly. On the maps, it is mentioned radioactive waste dumping site. Is everyone okay? So internationally agreed dumping site. Why they are telling that also, that you should not go and do some job over there. Just like if you have a gas pipeline going, do they put a marking? No, do not go for drilling deep hole cutting in this area. So it is all earmarked. So compare India's disposal discharge with the world discharging. But even then, as I said, population resource imbalance is so much that these dumping sites are themselves a big challenge. And then they have to monitor also. Yes, sir. Saurabh is saying those school or hospital खोलकर एहसान दिखा रहे हैं. Saurabh, not only एहसान, they are to saying that we have brought development to this area. Genetic disorders, yeah. Well, look at the. I don't know. I don't have words for them. I really don't have words for them. And if somebody says, Indian tribals are protesting against nuclear, like raw material being extracted, they should, because we haven't earned a credible, respectful job in that. Do we agree? Could we saying, sir, can we make maps if suitable in essay paper? Could we देखो, geography में आप मैप बनाते नहीं, जहाँ पे चाहिए वहाँ आप ऐसे लिखते हो. And where the test is switch off, first switch off, then pull with the jerk, just a minute, yeah. Take it. So what I'm trying to say here is that in geography, when I ask you to make maps, you don't make maps, and in essay you want to make a map. Well, geography we want to be mechanical, and in essay you're asking me to make a map. So I want to tell you, essay is checked by a language paper, a language teacher. Essay is not by a subject matter teacher. So remember your English, Hindi, Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi teacher, the language teacher. Were they actually angry when even you were using short forms and formulas? Yes or no? They wanted you to write in para or not? There you have to write in paras. Okay? So essay में diagram map नहीं बनाने होते. But sir, XYZ coaching said that it is there. उन्होंने कौन सा attempt देना है? तुम्हारा attempt है. If you want to do जलियांवाला बाग, उस दिन जो मर्जी करो. मैं तो कह रहा हूँ बैठे बैठे ऐसे ये ऐसे बना देना. radioactivity free human being और सब चंगासी. चलो क्यों लिखेगा ऐसे? डायग्राम बनाना बनाओ, जो मर्जी बनाना बनाओ, whatever you want to, खूब मजे से करना. Do we get that? अरे यार, जो सब्जेक्ट is then what happens? No, वो कौन था? ये कंकनी तो था. बोला सर पवनीत सर ने कहा ये ज्योग्राफी वाले साइकोलॉजिकली मैप ही मैप बना रहे होते हैं. There are people who have done that error, no? That is why people are saying geography wala is making maps everywhere. Why would you make a map everywhere? Do we get that? So essay, always remember, is about writing. Essay is all about writing. Are you with me on this? Clear? Chaliye. Point source is done. Now a very important pollution source that comes to me is marine pollution. Marine pollution. More than 90% of international trade goes through oceans. Yes or no? So quickly tell me, what have you heard about marine pollution? Then I'll give you a chronology also. Quickly, you have 1 minute. What have you heard of? Anything, any example that comes to your mind? Sorry, I had to attend to some work also. Yes. So oil slug means sludge है and water from one ocean discharge to another. तो सौरभ इसको पता क्या बोलते हैं? एक तो one is oil spill, ship releasing oil. Second is ballast, water pollution. ठीक है, done. Or because when you're writing on that marine pollution, our topic is not pollution, our topic is marine pollution. If they ask you the types, so you should be there. Oil spill is there. Can I say garbage and sewage? Garbage and sewage. संचारी eutrophication वगैरह नहीं. अब हम marine pollution specific बात करें. We're not talking about general things. Now I'm giving you very very specific thing. Ships will release their garbage and sewage somewhere. True or not? तो देखो प्रियांशु, hydrothermal vent. We are talking about marine pollution from ships, navigation. अभी बताया maritime trade, shipping की बात हो रही है, maritime trade related pollution. Do we get that? Maritime trade related pollution. So garbage and sewage, अंजलि वही हो गया उधर. A big thing is air pollution by ships. So what is that? Ships, remember, they are moving around. They are the ones which are releasing that is there. I also want to tell you harmful, hazardous substances. They are being transferred. So will they release it in the sea? No, they will not release in the sea, but if actually by, by some accident it happens. Possible or not? So everyone, this is a ship sailing in the water. Get that? The ship has a lot of cargo inside. That cargo is also there, and if it is having oil and gas, oil, chemical, fertilizers, all that cargo. So there is cargo on the ship. Do we get that? There is cargo on the ship. Will be saying noise pollution by okay. So यहाँ पर ship का propulsion है. What is the propulsion? वो जो fan लगा है पीछे. What is this propeller? Vibrations and noise. Vibrations and noise. This will cause noise pollution. Is everyone okay with that? Now, please do not be carried away with all this information and then you suddenly want to draw everything over there. Don't do that. Oil spill can be accidental. It can be intentional. So why would someone do that? Remember, build the discharge. So it can be intentional. Ballast water pollution. So everyone, can you see this ship? So this ship which is sailing, the ship is sailing because it has cargo. Now when the cargo is discharged, so what will happen to the ship? This ship will come rise up. Itna upar aa jayega. Do we get that? Can I say this is the empty ship? Doesn't have cargo. So when this rises up, this part of the ship, which is above water level, this is called the freeboard of the ship. Freeboard of the ship. And whatever is below the water level, that depth is called the draft of the ship. Draft. Is everyone okay? Upar ka freeboard and niche ka draft. In order to be stable, the ship has to maintain a minimum draft. Do we get that? Otherwise, ships with bigger freeboard have a tendency to be unstable and be caught in winds. They can be caught in winds. I want to tell you a thing happened like this in the Suez Canal with that ship called Ever Given. Ever Given was a container ship. Container ship के पास freeboard बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, and the wind comes. Remember, strong winds, strong desert winds, which are called shamals. So you're going like that, and strong wind comes and turns you around. Do you understand why did it happen? Why did Ever Given, the ship which was going like this, turn around and block the Suez Canal, which became a news for 1 full month, and block that trade channel? Is everyone okay? So we want more freeboard or less freeboard? We want less freeboard. We want less freeboard, but freeboard will increase when you don't have cargo. So to reduce your freeboard and to increase your draft to be stable, what does an empty ship do? Empty ship fills up ocean water. Empty ship takes in ballast. Is everyone okay? Ballast water. तो अपने tanks में पानी भर देता है. When it fills up water in the tanks, will the ship again go down? Do we get that? So empty tanks, they use it to fill up water. Everyone okay? Now listen to it. The problem doesn't come here. The problem comes that now again you are going to load cargo, but your space is filled with what? Your space is filled with water. What will you do? You will empty the water. Where did you get this water from? You got this water from South America. Where are you emptying this water? You are emptying this in Europe. So South America's water is reaching Europe. Do we get that? You are going to discharge it in European water. Tell me, is it a big chance? Is it a big chance of invasive species coming in? Yes, ballast water. Invasive species or non-native species. Do you understand what is ballast water transfer now? Bada challenge hai, big challenge. Achha, one more thing. If your tank had oil, आपने सब discharge कर दिया, but थोड़ा तो oil रह जाएगा ना? At home also, if you are using oil in a container, on the wall of it, some oil clings or not? Yes, even if you pull out most of it, थोड़ा सा हमेशा रह जाता है. Now you added water to that. Now you want to pump out that water. क्या करोगे? तो उसमें पानी में तो oil मिल गया. Do we get that? Do you understand? A similar problem comes with bilge also. You know, all that oil water goes down to the bilge. तो सारा का सारा oily water, they will put it in the bilge. धीरे-धीरे वो settle होगा. They are waiting for it to settle down. They will discharge the water, and at the end, that is what is going to get collected. You know what? Oil will form a film on water. So what will they do? Is they will discharge the water, and whatever is the oil is left, they will stop at that. All that oil gets collected in the bilge, and then you are going to discharge the bilge. Ideally, you should be discharging the bills. Ideally, you should be discharging the bills to a port reception facility. किसको देना है? Port reception facility. That's the rule, international rule. But if you're giving it to port reception facility, what will they do? They will charge you. True or not? Student life. One person comes to collect your garbage and he says 100 rupees per month. True or not? If you 100 रुपए कैसे दूं मैं इसको? Why not take my polythene इधर उधर देख के dump it somewhere? Do it or not? Developing world ऐसी सोचता है. तो कौन देगा यार reception facility? You'll have to pay it in dollars. कोई नहीं देख रहा है. Nobody looking. Release कर. Even Indians are so silly on this at times that they go and do shoplifting in superstores, supermarkets. There is no salesman. Nobody is looking at me. Let me put this chocolate in my pocket. Let me eat the ice cream here itself. Beta, camera is looking at you. Big boss का घर. And then they are caught also. Hotel से सब कुछ चोरी करके लेकर आ रहा है. True. Very silly यार. How can you be so foolish? And not only for you, your reputation, your family's reputation, your country's reputation. But रोक तो सकते नहीं. दिल तो बच्चा ही आ गया तो आ गया. Is everyone okay with oil spills? Marine pollution की range समझ में आ गई, including noise pollution. Including noise pollution. अब आते हैं oil spill disasters. Let me give you examples of worst disasters. Worst disaster examples. So what are the examples? 1967, Torrey Canyon. Okay. This was in English Channel. Remember what is English Channel between France and Britain? Okay. First of the disasters. पहला disaster हुआ था. Torrey Canyon एकदम सब कुछ मजेदार है. Do you get that? Everything is fine. The ship is sailing, fair weather, सब कुछ मजे से आ रहा है. And it's an oil container, oil ship. And the navigating officer did not mark the position correctly. So on the ship, like your GPS, no, you give your position. So उस time GPS वगैरह नहीं था, खुद ही position mark करनी थी. गलत position mark किया. So instead of being in deep water, by mistake what happened? Entered in shallow water and ran aground on a rock. Rock पे टकरा गया. Imagine if there is a rock here. Will the ship get punctured or not? Submarine rock. Remember that's why I told you ocean bottom relief. We must know about it. So submarine rock was there and they did not pay attention and this thing happened. 1967. एकदम clear weather. ऐसा भी नहीं कि कोई problem थी. There was no problem. There was no bad weather or something happened. Oil is coming out. Britain and France, they are looking at it. World में pictures खिंच रही and all those things, and there is no law. Funny thing is, there is no law to punish them. How do you punish them? ठीक है? उसके बाद क्या करें? Oil निकलता जा रहा है. So this is sea, and the coast of Britain and France. You can see that the oil is spreading around. अभी coast पर भी आ जाए. So you know what happened? Royal Air Force. They tried to remove the ship. Ship को हटा दे, ship broke into two, and all the oil. So Royal Air Force was called in. क्या करें इसमें? They said, don't worry, इस पे bomb मार देते हैं. We'll blow this ship. Get that? We'll blow this ship. Oil is there. It will burn. No problem. और कोई तरीका नहीं. 1967 such big ships don't have. Royal Air Force went and bombed it. और कई दिन तक आग लग रही है. Royal Air Force मुंह छुपा रही है. किधर छुपाएं? रोज आग बंद हो जाओ. And all pollution, species, air pollution, whatever is happening, who's bothered? This gave birth to a very very important law, which is called the birth of environment. Marine pollution law जब शुरू होता है, London Convention, 1972. So 1972 is a very special year. Stockholm Conference, many things are happening. So RAF का तो बहुत मजाक उड़ा. Yes, they had a lot of this thing. तो पहले लंदन कन्वेंशन उन्होंने कहा no, we must have a convention for international this thing. So MARPOL. तो यहाँ पर एक एक्ट बना, MARPOL 73. MARPOL is the international law for marine pollution, 73. But you can understand थोड़ा बहुत होता है. तो शोर मचा. It was in media, आज तक and all those. आज तक तो तब नहीं था, but वहाँ पे भी तो एक आज तक होगा. And it was a very shameful thing. So they created a law. But you know, creating a law doesn't do anything. After this, 1978, another ship, Amoco Cadiz, इसका engine fail हो गया. Ship is going and the engine failed. Massive ship, engine fail हो गया. अब क्या करेगा ship? Ship can't do anything. Ship is like a boat. It went like this and collided with the rock. This time went aground. Last time the position wrong था. And again an oil spill. And MARPOL had done nothing to avoid this. They said, come on, we had MARPOL 73. They said, what do we do? The ship was poor quality. They said, you should specify the standard of the ship. And there should be someone who's monitoring the ship also. Yes or no? तो ship किस country में था? Who was the owner? Owner जो भी था उसको बोला कि आप जो है owner. Okay? आपका ship कहाँ का registered है? यहाँ का registered है. So आपका नाम हो गया flag ship, flag country. We call it the flag state. So just like we have registry of the car, no? A car, motorcycle, you are from Odisha. You will have O starting, West Bengal or WB होगा. Jharkhand is JH, yes. Delhi is DL. So likewise, ships also have their registry, and that is called flag state. So MARPOL was told you should create laws for the flag state so that proper ships are made. But if the flag state is corrupt, If the flag state is Africa, imagine Africa, they don't have any standard. So if you are coming to UK is what? Port state. Port state should also have this thing, guidelines, that only ships complying with this are allowed to enter my port state. True or not? So two parties banani padi. Do you understand what is flag state and what is port state? Flag state and port state. So the video which you saw, bilge inspection happening, that was an inspection carried by the port state. Port state inspection is considered to be a very challenging one. Ship ko jaane se pehle tension rehta hai. The port state people will come. And I've been on many ships with port state coming. If you're coming to countries like South Asia, India nahi bol raha hu, Bangladesh, Pakistan, West, India bhi hai, Africa also, port state inspection is more a money making exercise for them. ये नहीं आपके शिप में, ये नहीं है, ये नहीं है, ये नहीं है, ये नहीं है. So what should you do? You should get it rectified. ये सब नहीं है, इतना पैसा दे दो. This much money is needed. Do you get that? So what I'm trying to say here is that we have laws, but they are not this thing. So Marpol now is called Marpol 7378 because 78 में significant amendments कर दिए गए. Is everyone okay? Did we get that? अच्छा, US में सबसे disaster कब हुआ? US में disaster होता है 1978 में. US is 1978. Sorry, 1989. 78 में तो ये हो गया 1989, that Alaska वाला. Alaska, the ship is called Exxon Valdez. So do we have to remember all these names of the ship? No. I just gave you a story. You have to remember Marpol 73, 78. Yes. But if you are making a map, everyone, if you are making a map, remember, can I say now English channel is an example for me. Developed world खाली लग रहा है ना? This is English channel. Can I say Marpol यहाँ की देन है? Because of the accidents over there. Alaska में क्या हुआ? Alaska में 1989 this happens and 1991 they came up with OPA Act. Oil Pollution Control Act, OPA Act in 1990. Why? Because of 1989 Exxon Valdez accident. Do we get that? Ship gaya. The ship is there. Inquiry हुआ Exxon Valdez. So first of all, everyone please pay attention. This area is pristine. Nobody goes over there. US तो यहाँ पे रह रहा है ना. US is here, mainland USA is there, Canada is also here. People are not living, but this area has a lot of oil, especially this area. No, कौन सा sea है ये? What sea is this? North of this. Bering तो है ये. This is Bering Strait. The sea is called Beaufort Sea. Beaufort Sea. ठीक है. So Beaufort Sea में oil है तो इन्होंने क्या किया? What the Americans did, they created a pipeline in Alaska. And इस pipeline को बोलते हैं Trans-Alaska Pipeline, TAP pipeline. So Trans-Alaska Pipeline, it will bring oil and either Anchorage. The name of the place is, the port is called Anchorage. The ship will go and simply bring the oil. No problem. Nothing happening in this. Nobody lives over there. एक pipeline बनाया सब कुछ ठीक. Ship goes there and the captain is drunk. दारू पी के out एकदम. Captain is drunk and failed to navigate properly, and the ship collides. एक में position human error. Do we get that? Another one, machine error, industrial error happens, and the third one, what has happened? Captain's error, daru error, alcohol error happens, and then pollution happened. And the big question was, what do you do? What do you do? Yeah, such a pristine area, nobody is going over there. You created so much of sludge and oil spill, and the cost was very, very high. So US ने अपना law बनाया, OPA Act 1990. 89 में होता है 1990. Do we get that? In fact, Marpol को amend किया. Do you know what kind of ships we have nowadays? Nowadays, what kind of ships we have? This is the ship. Okay, ship का ये box हो गया. This is how a ship looks from front. ऐसा लगेगा? ऐसा ना, side से तो ऐसा है. If you look at it from front, it will be like that. Everyone, now ships are like this. What is this? Ships are double-bodied. This is called a double-hull tanker. Hull means the body of the ship. Oil tankers are now double. Even if a puncture happens, you are not going to spill oil. Get it? And it solved one more problem, everyone. Can you see one more problem is solved? The problem of filling water in the tank for bringing down the draft. Yes or no? And then oily water. Where do you fill up water now? In the double hull. इसमें डालो पानी. Get that? Invasive species problem still remains. Is everyone okay? Double hull. What is the meaning of double hull? So I'm just telling you how we are dealing with this. Everyone, what have I given you till now? Have I given you a lot of information over and above what you know? Okay, marine pollution. Do you have sufficient information? Do you have examples? Areas, point source, non-point source, floating sources. You can very well do that. And what we are looking at is इसको रोकना क्या? Impact and remedy. More important is causes we are done. Causes are we done? So we've looked at all the causes. Chemical हो सकता है, इधर क्या किया? Oil spill हो सकता है 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. इधर हमने पहले कर दिया था. सोचो ना 5 के अलावा you people are so smart. Sewage, acidification, radioactive, eutrophication. True or not? So we have a lot of ideas. I guess that is done. So we करें क्या? Solve करें. Solve करना है. How do we solve it? जल्दी बताओ, solution and remedies. इम्पैक्ट भी नहीं किया, इम्पैक्ट किस पर हो सकता है? इम्पैक्ट ऑन फिजिकल एंड केमिकल. ओशन में फिजिकल इम्पैक्ट क्या है? Physical is, say for example, we are looking at oceans, and the areas can have, like a ship can damage the ocean bottom topography, ocean coastal bottom. Yes, coastline. That is it. Chemical acidification. Can I say acidification? Physical. Can I say unwanted chemicals? So what do we call this? NLS, noxious liquid substances can be put into this. Yes or no? Biological mein, I'm taking Pooja Kumar's points. Marine ecosystem. Marine ecosystem. Yes. Coral special ecosystem. Food chains impacted. Either can I say oxygen levels, eutrophication. These are going to be impacts, and multiple more. Otherwise, you can simply say ecosystem services will be damaged. When people ask me, this is going GS way, how can I do that? Ecosystem services are provisioning services, regulatory services, socio-cultural and economic services. Remember, tourism will be impacted. Tourism, aesthetic, the beach, and everything. In fact, in USA we have that infinite liability clause for marine pollution. What is an infinite liability? That if somebody goes and complains that marine pollution has happened, so the company which has done that, they will have to clean it up. They will bear the cost of it. Now it's all cleaned up. But the person who's living over there, he says, I don't like it the way it is. Previously it used to be beautiful, and now the beauty of the beach is lost. Even that you will have to pay for it. Everything. So provisioning services of the oceans are impacted. Regulatory, the hydrological cycle is impacted on that. And socio-cultural, this thing will also be impacted. So fishing industry will be impacted, tourism industry will be impacted, and I'm saying the biodiversity part of it, say for example, turtles laying eggs, everything will be impacted or not. Solution क्या करें? Solution. जल्दी से बताइए. Some solutions. So reduce waste, recycle, reuse, treat waste. True or not? Don't litter. लिखा होता है ना बीच पर. Don't litter. Please don't throw plastic, and then we throw also. वो तो कोई मानता ही नहीं. Reduce garbage generation in those areas. ठीक है? Can I say reduce fertilizer consumption? Fertilizer consumption. ठीक है? पूर्वी saying engineering solution as better. नहीं, पूर्वी ऐसे वाले point नहीं लिखने. That is what I am saying. Your idea is, सर किसी तरह स्कूल की रिपोर्ट बनाने, कॉलेज की रिपोर्ट बनाने के लिए बुक बता दो. Language. Engineering solution कुछ नहीं होता. You will say legal mechanisms, or safeguards, or standards of all activity related to that. Legal mechanism होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए? जैसे मार्पोल आ गया. मार्पोल lays down regulations. मार्पोल के 6 annexes हैं. 6 annexes are there. First annex is about pollution by oil. Second annex, pollution by NLS. So what is NLS? Here are NLS. Noxious liquid substances. Third is harmful substances packaged. So if packages are also there, package standards should be there. Fourth is sewage. Fifth is garbage. And sixth में भी air pollution की बात चल रही है. Air पे भी काफी कुछ हो चुका है. Fuel standards and everything. And noise pollution पे भी आ रहा है. मार्पोल. आप legal mechanism क्या कर सकते हैं? Everyone, मैंने आपको कई बार बताया. PSSA, MPA. What is PSSA, MPA? Particularly sensitive sea area. Marine protected area. So protected areas. Current affairs बता रहा हूँ. 30/30. कौन सा प्लान है ये? बायोडाइवर्सिटी प्लान. आईची के बाद पोस्ट आईची. Heard of post आईची टारगेट? We want to reserve 30% of the world's area, including oceans and land, as protected area. Use करो उसको. कौन स्टॉप कर रहा है? कर सकते कि नहीं कर सकते? अच्छा, I taught you on first day UNCLOS. What is UNCLOS? United Nations Convention on Laws of Sea. ऐसा बताया था. UNCLOS is in our syllabus also. I want to tell you UNCLOS का part 12 of UNCLOS is protection and preservation of marine environment. Get that? इसमें क्या किया जाता है? It tells us pollution to be minimized. Where minimized? UNCLOS tells us number one, control dumping. Dumping by ships, offshore installations. So please don't think only ships are to be blamed. Even a drill rig, yes or no? Drilling rig, a rig, oceanic rig, a rig is pulling out this thing. Number two, land-based sources. Number three, very important. Remember, there is a body called ISA, Kingston, Jamaica. इसलिए वो, remember ISA भी तो pollution करवा सकता है उसकी activities from seabed activities, seabed mining. Yes or no? I hope you understand. Fourth, garbage or hazardous material dump sites. So there are laws for this. Somebody said, sir, engineering solution, वो engineering solution नहीं है. Proper specific answer. Marpol is there. Apart from general things, we will write general things also. Marpol is there. UNCLOS is also there. Yes or no? और एक और बात बताऊं, current affairs. SDG 14. Life below water. It says conserve and sustainably use oceans. Conserve and sustainably use oceans, sea and marine resources. UN decade भी चल रहा है ना? UN decade on oceans 2021 to 2030. Have I brought in current affairs also? You have the idea, you have the solution, you have the problem, you have the map, you have everything. This is how the answer will fetch you marks. The challenge is how will you pack it? You will never run short of material. Coaching institutes in Delhi are saying my material will help you pass. अरे चचा, material किसके पास नहीं है? Everyone has material. Information, with just information. Information is madness. What do we need? Method in madness. Everyone okay with this? Are we clear? Next, we'll go to next topic. If you have a question, you can talk about that. We're going to coral reefs. Coral reef. Changing the topic. Can we have a 3-minute break? 12:52 to 12:55. Small little break. We are changing the topic. If you have any question, you can ask me even after that. 3-minute break for this. Looked at the legal part of it. Can you bring in UNCLOS through Marpol also and use this marine part? Another thing which I want to tell you is whenever a question comes on UNCLOS, whenever a question comes on Marpol, make sure again sounding geographical, bring in some geopolitics also. So what will be in geopolitics? When I'm doing models and theories, I'll be talking about geopolitics also. You can put somewhere that you can bring in the geopolitical angle. You can bring in the UN at least SDGs. लेकर आने. This will give more strength to your answer. Just as a star, you can put. Yeah, if answer is needed, I'll bring that in my answer. What is the global geopolitics of it? Say, for example, just an example I want to tell you, since we're talking about it. 1991 Gulf War. It was a geopolitical tension that led to marine pollution. Yes. अभी आपने सुना होगा recently ईरान ने ब्लो किया था, a ship crossing over this thing. What is that? Hormuz Strait को cross कर रहा था, उसने उड़ा दिया उधर से. True. Gulf War में Kuwaiti oil wells and offshore installations. They were bombed by Iraq. Do we have that now? Becoming geographical, becoming contemporary. Think about it. Think about it. An oil tanker can be used as a bomb itself. That's what we are talking about. So what action can be taken after marine pollution has been caused? यहाँ पे लिखा रहता है. This will tell us. First, they will ask you which is the pollution. If oil-related pollution, Marpol tells you how to go about it, how to minimize that pollution. So first is, say for example, you contain it, containment of the oil pollution. So the oil spill must be contained. They have those oil absorbent booms and everything which will be surrounded. And then what you do is, because oil is buoyant, oil doesn't go down. So oil stays on the surface. You bring in some pumps and start sucking it from the surface. Get that? Still there will be oil and all those protocols are there. So uske baad, you know, at some places you might have to use chemicals which are called ODS. What are ODS? Oil dispersant solutions or something, suspensions. I don't remember, but oil dispersant. They act on the same action as detergent. So it's like a detergent only. So ODS, oil spill dispersant we bolte hain इनको, oil dispersant substances also. Do we get that? But they are chemically very harmful. So permissions are needed for that. How should you do that? How should you not do that? And then I was talking to my students in environment class. Remember Terry ने oil zapper की technique, bioremediation, bioremediation. Oh sir, ये तो मुझे भी पता था. So why am I telling you all this? Sir, I was not able to connect. This is what learning is about. है ना? All of us have heard of bioremediation or chemical solutions and all those things. Recall होना चाहिए. And in the worst case, there will be damage. There will be damage. Eventually. So do all countries follow MARPOL? See, two things are there. If you are a flag state and your ships are going to sail in the world, you will have to comply. Your port state, if you are allowing ships to come, you will have to comply. So MARPOL का ऐसे compliance ensure किया जाता है. Do we get that? So ships, आप MARPOL नहीं comply करते, but the port which you are reaching that complies with this, so you will have to comply with it. So MARPOL ऐसा है कि इससे बच नहीं सकते आप. So MARPOL will be there. But the only thing is what penalties will you do this? And I also want to tell you, because trade is involved, no? So nature and all, biodiversity, we human beings are not very keen. Trade is involved. A big ship will be held back. Remember, उसको छोड़ नहीं रहा था Egypt. Egypt was not leaving ever given. They said पहले पैसा दो. Egypt said that you block the channel, give us money. Company से कहा पैसा नहीं दोगे हम छोड़ेंगे नहीं. And if you do not छोड़ो it, the route is blocked or not. So the world will say चल ले ले भाई पैसा जो करना है कर. True. So whenever it comes to trade matters, all these developed countries also fall in line. Whenever it is just charity matters, वो कुछ नहीं करने वाले. With me on this? चलिए तो आपके doubts भी हो गए. Coral reef, what do you know about it? Tell me something. All that you know about coral reefs. क्या होते हैं, कैसे होते हैं? Calcium carbonate is there. Polyps are there. Okay. See, everyone is talking about calcium carbonate. So I was talking to a student. She is giving her interview. And she said, sir, I went for a mock interview. Geography is my optional. They asked me, what is El Nino? She said, I answered what is El Nino. But after answering, I felt how stupid, I was talking about those technical details and all that, unnecessarily expanding the answer. I really realized that I was not very crisp and precise with the answer. I'm asking, what are coral reefs? And yes, he's saying found in tropical areas. Nonsense. What are coral reefs? He says found in tropical areas. What are coral reefs? They are symbiotic relation. I'm saying coral reefs are calcareous, calcium carbonate, calcareous ridges or rocks created out of the exoskeletons of calcium secreting marine organisms, in bracket polyp. ये पहली लाइन भाई है क्या? coral reef है क्या? So they are found in tropical area. कौन सा वाला कश खींच के आए? What are we asking? वो तुम क्या बता रहे हो? What are coral reefs? Coral reefs are rocks. पहली चीज तो ये बताएंगे ना, coral reefs are rocks. What are coral reefs? Sir, my girlfriend used to talk about them, sir. उसने ना हाथ में अंगूठी में ही मूंगा पहना था सर. बहुत याद आती है सर उसकी. अबे नौटंकी, I asked you what is coral reef. Why are you telling me मूंगा in your girlfriend's ring? What are coral reefs? So they are found in tropical areas. Learn this. Learn this for prelims. Learn this for mains. Learn this for interview. Why prelims questions go wrong? What is the immediate thing? वो तो दिखाई देता नहीं. उसके आगे पीछे का सब दिखाई दे जाता है. So they are calcareous ridges created by exoskeleton. वो होनी चाहिए. अब पॉलिप की कहानी बतानी है तो पॉलिप बता सकते हो कि नाउ नेक्स्ट लाइन कैन बी अ सॉफ्ट बॉडीड मरीन ऑर्गेनिजम्स रिजेंबल्स और फैमिली ऑफ सी एनिमोन की फैमिली से होता है. यस, एंड इट हैज अ सिम्बायोटिक एसोसिएशन विद व्हाट? एल्गी. एल्गी प्रोवाइड्स द फूड एंड द फेलो डज दिस. ये सेकंड सेंटेंस. अब इसको फॉर्मेशन बताएंगे. एंड देन पीपल से सर इज माय आंसर ओके सर, आई एम जीरो एट आंसर राइटिंग दिस एंड दैट. पहले तो थिंकिंग का तो प्रोसेस शुरू करो. If something is asked, so please answer that. And if you want to add information, yes, you're welcome. Very good. You should do that. So what are polyps? Polyps are soft-bodied. This is soft-body वाला organism है. UPSC नहीं दे रहा है, so it has a smiling face. Get that? And because it is soft-bodied, the predators can eat it anytime. So what does it do? It sort of secretes calcium carbonate shell around itself. So without Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, this fellow has got Awas. This fellow is so Modi friendly. ये आत्मनिर्भर है, आत्मनिर्भर. But still, भूख तो सभी को लगती है. So he decides to lend a part of his flat, yes, जनता flat, to a पकौड़ा वाला. Who's this पकौड़ा वाला? Algae पकौड़ा. So the algae fellow makes पकौड़ा, and पकौड़ा is job तो है ही ना, कुछ तो कमा के जाएगा, 200-300 तो लेके जाएगा. So algae is running the पकौड़ा shop. Polyp fellow is running the Pradhan Mantri Awas Atmanirbhar Fellow. Do you get that? Happily going. No UPSC, no NCRT, sir. MCQ करना, answer writing करना. Should I draw diagrams in the essay or nothing? Very happy fellow. Very very happy fellow. Get that? And another characteristic difference between the polyp and a UPSC aspirant is that UPSC aspirant is very arrogant. वो एकला चलो में रहता है. He thinks that I know all. Yes, मैं खुद ही करूँगा. Sir, if I write answer, I will lose confidence. I will lose confidence. You lose ego. Get that? This fellow is very happy. He lives with in colony. सब लोग साथ में रहते हैं. सब एक साथ. And thankfully, nature does not have bulldozers. Human beings have. तो ये सबका अपना अपना फ्लैट है. They all have their own flat. They live in it. ठीक है? But there are some UPSC aspirant वाला also. ये थोड़ा एकला चलो. These are the ones जो UPSC देना चाहते हैं. So ये sad वाला है. इसका फेस तो sad बनेगा. The big sad fellow. Get it? Absolutely sad. Why is he sad? First he was looking geography का भगवान कौन. Then he found geography का भगवान. Then he found भगवान has a gufa. He went to the gufa. There he realized this is not my cup of tea. Yes. Now he's looking for more भगवान. ये अकेला रहता है. So he cannot do anything in life. But these happy people, non-UPSC walas, they live together. These are called hermatypic polyps. These are reef builders. ये अपनी reef बनाते हैं. These are reef builders. ये जो अकेले वाले हैं ना, ये सिर्फ मातम बनाते हैं. ये sadness फैलाते हैं. सर मेरा कोई कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. सर मैं इतने दिन से मैं ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. सर आई एम नॉट एबल. सर प्लीज सर, यू प्लीज टेक मी अंडर योर विंग. सर आप मिल जाएंगे तो मैं पास हो जाऊँ. प्रॉब्लम ये आई डोंट हैव गुफा. अगर होता मेरे पास गुफा तो आई वुड हैव सेड मेरे पास आ जाओ, मोक्ष यहीं पे मिलता है और तो किसी को होता ही. ट्रू ना? तो ये बेचारा ऐसे तड़प तड़प के मरेगा. इसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता. ठीक है. ये क्या ढूंढ रहा है? सर मुझे यूनिवर्सिटी का प्रोजेक्ट किसी तरह खत्म करना है. सर आपके नोट से हो जाएगा. सर पीडीएफ होगा कि नहीं. सर टेलीग्राम होगा कि नहीं. सर ग्रुप में लड़की अच्छी मिलेगी या नहीं मिलेगी. वो वाला है. सर वो टीचर जो है बहुत सही बताते हैं. सर ये भक्त भी है. ट्रू. इनकी शक्ल भी टीचर से मिलती है आजकल. विद टाइम देयर फेस आल्सो रिजेंबल्स द टीचर. इतना पड़ेगा. दीस पीपल आर हैप्पी. यस. नाउ दे आर डाइंग. दे सेड अच्छा मैं मरने वाला हूँ. कोई बात नहीं. इफ यू आर डाइंग व्हाट विल हैपन? व्हेन दे डाई दे टेल देयर किड्स, सुन बे मेरे घर के ऊपर तू अपना 2 BHK बना ले. So the next generation builds up on the previous generation. The reef becomes thicker. Yes or no? Reef will become thicker. उसके बाद the happy people ये भी और ऊपर चला जाता है. So progressively what is happening? Reef is growing upward. अच्छा ये अकेला क्या है? सर मुझे कोई प्यार नहीं करता. I don't like anyone sir. No family sir. This papa mummy they are killing me sir. Friend तो सर दोस्त ना रहा, प्यार ना रहा, दोनों भाग गए मिलकर, मुझे छोड़ दे डिच करके. ये वो वाला है. But these people with every passing generation they are growing. Next generation comes. Yes. And the good thing is they don't have to show their paper. They are not declared Bangladeshi. तो ये मजे से रहते हैं. So the kingdom is also not Akhand Bharat. This is Akhand polyp. Akhand polyp. Millions of years when this happy family grows, it turns into a huge rock, and that is called a coral reef. Do you understand what is a coral reef? The good thing is there is no Arnab in this. There is no Anjana in this. There is no Kangana in this, and the life goes on. कितना सुन. और ये हाँ ये आज तक का सब्सक्राइबर भी है. उसको आज तक भी मिलता है. And he's also looking for some shared subscriptions, shared internet package and shared subscription because दुनिया में गरीबी बहुत है. And he generally stays away from the teachers who have a mirror with them, who show the mirror, say you are looking miserable beta. अरे he called me miserable. My confidence was lost. I must go back to recharge to the gufa where sir will give me easy questions, lollipop questions. Yes, me and my gang of friends in the evening we will do yagya also. अखंड भूगोल यज्ञ and the आंखों का तारा batch will keep on growing. So ये उन लोगों के लिए. So I really like coral reefs. They are a good living example to human beings how to coexist. How not to foolishly one day wake up and say मैं दुनिया को साबित कर दूंगा. I'll show the world and I'll prepare for UPSC. No, you can show the world even like there are people who go for a cricket match, take off their clothes and naked they run. Yes, have you heard of these people? They also show it to the world. There is an easy way of showing to the world. Go to the IPL, take off your clothes and run on the field. ये थोड़ी IAS बन के दिखाएगा. IAS बन के दिखाना is very difficult. You have to spend the whole day, whole year and many years and then find gurujis and gufas. उतारे भागे. पूरी दुनिया देखेगी. दुनिया को दिखा डाला. Possible? So there are better easy ways यार. ठीक है? Make reels and whatever they are doing. आज की डेट में पब्लिक क्या नहीं स्टंट कर रही है to look, like I'm there. Sir, all erased. मैंने तो लिखा था. मेरा ही तो कचरा है. True or not? सब लोग अपने आंसर लिखते हैं, ऐसे लिखते हो कि नहीं आंसर लिखते हो, खूब सारे आंसर लिखते हो, एवरी डे यू राइट आंसर्स, यस, यू आर वंडरिंग हाउ विल आई इंप्रूव इट, सर इसको चेक कर देना, एवरी डे यू राइट एन आंसर, कीप इट इन फ्रिज रेफ्रिजरेटर फॉर 3 days, आफ्टर 3 days pull it out, read it yourself, 90% chance that after reading it you will feel like tearing it. क्या बकवास लिख रहा था यार मैं, 90% chance you yourself will tear it, because that time you think that is the best, but later on when you understand in the writing process itself you are improving, you realize that there is nothing, I hardly put anything in this. True, अरे it is for you यार, आप खुद ही अपने आंसर देख लो and you look at the answer submitted on Telegram, तब तुम अपना फाड़ डालोगे, अरे यार मैं क्या लिख रहा हूँ. But then there are people इस पे उसने I love you लिखा था, when I was in standard 5 I was a fool, she was a fool, but stupidly she wrote I love you. आज तक वो फर्रा मेरे पास है रखा हुआ है, वो भी नहीं है और कोई भी नहीं रह गया अभी, बट वो फर्रा है. Whenever I look at it, I feel so nostalgic. सुन, इसके चक्कर में ना नए वाला रुका हुआ है, इसको ले फाड़ दे, ये ज्योग्राफी के भगवान को फाड़ दो. सचिन तेंदुलकर used to be the god of cricket, yes or no? Days are over. We are looking at more gods. ये जो घमंड है ना टीचर्स का भी, मुझसे बढ़िया कोई नहीं पढ़ा सकता, मैं ही तो ग्रह पर आया हूँ आपको पढ़ाने, तू भी फटेगा, गुफा तेरी भी बंद होगी. True or not? So everyone, learn to tear your notes out. Do not be attached to them. How many of you are still holding to your registers of your school? अभी बचा के रखा हुआ, मेरे वाले नोट्स उससे मैं स्कूल में पास हुआ था. कुछ रजिस्टर्स, कुछ स्क्रिबलिंग्स रखे हुए स्कूल के, कॉलेज के. झूठ मत बोलो, सब लोग नो 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 लिख रहे हो, अभी भी बहुत सारे इकट्ठा करके रखा हुआ. एक दिन हटा दूंगा, दूसरों को दे दूंगा. Thankfully I did not give because they're telling me to read NCERT. Learn from coral reefs. They're happy, they will die, they'll pass it on. सर्विस is saying it's a class 8 की social science, सब कुछ है उसमें, मोर का पंख भी लगा के रखा है, the bookmark is still there, yes or no? इतने मोहब्बती मत बनो, this is all from हिंदी सिनेमा. I still have my books of फिटजी, बिल्कुल हर्ष, वैसे भी उस टाइम पढ़ नहीं पाए थे, इतना बुक दिया, फिटजी was मिस फिटजी, yes or no? इतना मोटा मोटा बुक दिया. दिव्यांशु बोलने से गुलाब सूख चुका है बुक में पढ़े पढ़े, लेकिन तुमको तो आज भी लाल दिखता है, तो सब हो चुका है. द गुलाब हैज टर्न्ड इनटू जुलाब, फॉरगेट इट. यस सर, बुकमार्क 9th क्लास इज स्टिल इन माय हिस्ट्री बुक. ओए रुलाएगा पगले. चलो, कोरल रीफ्स प्लीज राइट डाउन. कंडीशंस फॉर सर्वाइवल. नंबर 1, shallow depth, preferably 50 meters. Which zone? Euphotic zone. Why? Life zone. You have algae and polyp, no? Algae and polyp. So algae को क्या करना? Photosynthesis करना है. Photosynthesis. So you need that. Yes. इनमें पिगमेंट होती है. Zooxanthellae. Zooxanthellae. So microscopic. You know, have you heard of phytoplankton and zooplankton? Zooxanthellae, part of that. फूड मेकिंग, तो आपको तो लाइफ चाहिए भाई. यू आर द प्रोड्यूसर, इकोसिस्टम से क्या है आप प्रोड्यूसर हो ना. इफ द डेप्थ इज 100 मीटर, विल दे डाई? नो, दे विल नॉट डाई. अप टू व्हाट डेप्थ डू वी हैव सनलाइट? अप टू व्हाट डेप्थ? रिमेंबर, कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ 200 मीटर तक रहेगी. अच्छा, प्रेफरेबली 50 मीटर, प्रेफरेबली 50 मीटर. कैन आई से दीस आर फाउंड इन शैलो वाटर्स, इसलिए कॉन्टिनेंटल मार्जिन. दैट इज व्हाई कॉन्टिनेंटल मार्जिन. नंबर 2, वार्म वाटर. Generally, temperature should be above 20 degrees Celsius. ऐसा नहीं boiling water होगा. They have a range, not too high either. So that is why global warming is a killer. Do you understand? Global warming is a killer. Tell me one thing: if oil spill comes on top, will it cut the sunlight? Yes or no? Oil spill will cut the sunlight. Will oil spill also cut the oxygen from dissolving? वो भी कट जाएगा. True. That was also one. Oxygen and sunlight both affect, will they die? So oil spill का वहां से कनेक्शन हो जाता है. Do we get that? So that is also done. Warm. और एक थर्ड बहुत मजेदार वाला है, which is a very paradoxical one. Paradox. What is paradox? विरोधाभास. Paradox is something, you know, two things, incompatible things. They show prolific growth. Prolific growth. बहुत अच्छे से ग्रो करते हैं. Remember, you heard of them as rainforests of the oceans. Prolific growth in nutrient deficient mediums. Very, very strange. They grow well. Nutrient should be deficit, not very, very much. So can I say eutrophication, the biggest killer? Sewage, etc. Biggest enemy. So what is the paradox then? Normally you know that plants are given fertilizers, no? For better nutrition, better feeding, then plant will grow better. ये किस में होता है? Deficient medium में होता है. Less is good for them. Less is good for them. I think dieting पर है. They are more into dieting. UPSC aspirants are not into dieting. UPSC aspirants are into binge eating. टेंशन में खा रहा है, गर्लफ्रेंड मिल गई तो खा रहा है, छोड़ के भाग गई तो खा रहा है. ट्रू. प्रीलिम्स फेल हो गया तब भी खा रहा है, पास हो गया तब भी खा रहा है. So these people are into this. But all if you can see, nature very very clear. जितना भूख लगता है उतने खाता है. They are not greedy ones. सुनते पुतिन का जो पर्सनल वो है उसको ब्लॉक करने की बात कर रहा है EU. पुतिन बेचारा कैसे खाएगा? बट पुतिन के पास बहुत से तरीके खाने के. पुतिन को कोई रोक थोड़ी सकता है. ट्रू. खाने की प्रॉब्लम किसके पास है? Those displaced people who lost their houses, who lost their family members, whose city was bombed. They have to live like coral reefs. They are surviving. Putin तो राजा आदमी है. True ना? Putin, his daughters and everything. Rich people. क्या टेंशन? Paradox. Okay, number 4 is latitudinal range. As we said tropical. वो तो यहीं पे लिख दें. Why am I repeating it यार? लिखा कि tropical what? नहीं लिखा. फिर ठीक है. I thought temperature से भी tropical हो जाता है. Tropical belt. 30 to 30 north and south. If you remember, even the mangrove belt was this only. So if you attended my environment class, morning GS I was talking 2 days ago about the forest wealth. So there I was telling them the mangrove belt of the world is 30 to 30. Mangrove is also such a thing only. And as I keep on reminding you that whenever you get time, that is in my profile. And on my profile, go for that environment course. So anyone who's preparing for geography optional environment, if you are aware, if you are well prepared for GS environment, बहुत मजा आएगा. Or where would you get those lectures? Go on the profile of my courses, and then you can find out the course, comprehensive course on environment and ecology. ठीक है. So ये इनका बेल्ट हो गया. Number 5, salinity. They are not freshwater. They are not freshwater organisms. Can I call them? If you remember, 3 वर्ड मैंने बताए थे आपको. Nekton, plankton, nekton, and benthos. Remember when I was doing vocabulary, biological, biotic resources in the oceans. Plankton are the floaters. Nectons are the swimmers. Planktons, floaters. Nekton, swimmers. What are benthos? What are coral reefs? Coral polyps. क्या है जल्दी बताओ. What are they? Plankton, nekton, benthos. Now you need to, like people ask me, sir, GS वो कैसे करना है? तो language use करोगे ना. These are marine benthos. So they are benthos, bottom living. Bottom living में, but not in fresh water. They live in salt water with a salinity range of 27 to 40. Survival. Is everyone okay with the salinity range? I also want to tell you that they like clear water. No turbidity. Therefore, found near river mouth. Sometimes the question comes, river mouth के पास, why don't we have corals? Number 1, river is bringing fresh water. River is bringing fresh water, yes or no? Because of fresh water, what will happen? Salinity. Second is, say for example, I was talking about the Diga beach and the Mandarmani. Ganga's delta brings in a lot of sediment. So sediment से क्या problem है? Sediment से इसको problem है. This fellow has a problem. The mouth may get clogged. मर जाएगा. No turbidity. ठीक है. Prefer mixing of waters. Better aeration and nutrients, but again more limited. तो nutrient हटा देते हैं. nutrient का तो नहीं है. But if there is mixing of water happening, better aeration will happen. Aeration will provide what? Oxygen. More oxygen. Yes or no? Are we clear? Coral reefs. वर्ल्ड में कहाँ बनानी है? बना दे वर्ल्ड मैप. ग्लोबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. ठीक है, डिफिकल्ट टू रिमेंबर, सो आई एम टेलिंग यू इजी. ये कैरिबियन कोरल हो गया. दिस इज कैरिबियन. इधर क्या है? बहामास. हर्ड ऑफ कैरिबियन एंड बहामास. ये कर सकते. व्हाट इज दिस? ग्रेट बैरियर रीफ. व्हाट इज दिस? इंडोनेशिया फिलीपाइंस आर्चिपेलागो. यस, इंडोनेशिया फिलीपाइंस आर्चिपेलागो. Here we have the famous coral triangle of the world. फिलीपाइंस के आसपास भी इस पूरे एरिया में लॉट ऑफ कॉरल्स आते हैं. इंडिया में लक्षद्वीप कॉरल्स, लक्षद्वीप, मालदीव्स, कैन आई से कॉरल्स. इवन अंडमान एंड निकोबार हैज कॉरल्स. अंडमान एंड निकोबार हैज कॉरल्स. देन मेनी पैसिफिक आइलैंड्स have corals. The limiting belt is, what is the limiting belt? 30 north, 30 south. Do I have to show everywhere? No, not needed. Have I shown enough? That is good enough. True. Remember, Wegener found coral reefs here. Wegener found coral reefs here. Can you see the scientist in Wegener was perplexed? How can coral reefs be there in those latitudes? Oh, maybe these latitudes were in tropical lands. They have shifted. Do you get that? How a discerning scientist will see observations, what he or she is reading, and say, yeah, this does not go by my rule. True or not? Everyone okay? Though I want to share something with you. Exam point of view, say, don't take it from the point of view of the examination. Human beings, out of curiosity, are trying to explore the whole world, more life. And I want to tell you, 1% of life, 1% of all life lives on land. 99% is what? Marine life. And we don't even have any clue. Abhi to hum land walon ko hi, we haven't been able to, identify, classify, and categorize land walas. So what to think of the ocean ones? Get that? Many scientists, many explorers have found high altitude, deep depth corals also. So the corals which I am talking about, coral reefs, I am talking about the ones which can survive only in this. But if somewhere you find some video is talking about deep sea corals, deep ocean bottom corals and all that, I hope you can understand that will be an exception. Do we get that? We're talking of the corals. When we are talking about the corals, we are talking of corals that started 30 million years ago. Not 30, 300 million years ago, corals हुआ करते थे. उनकी बात हो रही है. The reefs, their leftovers, have created this. So that when you're reading, suddenly you come across something and you lose confidence. वो नहीं करना है. Clear? We know something about coral, how those reefs are created. We've looked at that. What are the preconditions? That also has been looked at. Where they will be found. Do we have fairly good geographical answer ready for us? Yes. Add to it, there are some problems. What are the problems? Coral bleaching, coral plague, coral pollution, and all those things. So those will also come. So coral play, we have some idea, but I'll upload this material also. I'll upload this material. मैं class में ही दिखा देना चाहता हूँ. The headings, coral reefs and atolls, conditions of growth, temperature, sediment free, existence of submarine bench and platform. ये मैंने लिखा था. Nobody even pointed out. It is what? A suitable substrate surface platform to grow. Why? Because I was talking about their benthos. No, they are not floaters. If they were floaters, that's okay, but benthos will always require some ground. No, this must also be seen as a point. Everyone okay? Book में types of coral reefs. Types पे जाने से पहले let me start talking about कि पता कैसे चला. So Europeans, they were the colonizers, but before age of exploration, when they started going to new lands, when they migrated to this, they were looking for a way to India. Yes or no? That phase of geography is called the age of exploration. Many naturalists, they were moving out of it, and when they were moving out, they were finding new places, new information, everything is coming. Yes or no? So new information started coming in terms of life also. That who is traveling over here, they are looking at plant species, they are very different from the European ones. Temperate belt, no? Temperate belt will be very different from tropical belt. So a lot of new information was pouring in, and initially the ship captains were doing this. They were traveling, yes. But later on, the naturalists, who are naturalists, nature को पढ़ने वाले, naturalists decided to go. उसी में some of them turned into botanists, some of them turned into zoologists. Yes, sir. Very important, very famous. We've already talked about the Beagle expedition, if you remember, Charles Darwin ka. When I was talking in my first class, exploration expedition. So Charles Darwin observed the coral reefs also. Get that? He observed coral reefs and he found three types. Three types. What is it? So there is an island, everyone. There is an island in the ocean and its margins have coral reefs. Get that? He found another one. He found another one where he had an island, but there was water surrounding the island, and away from that there was a reef. So there was a gap between the island. Here, what was this? Reef was touching the edge of the island, and then there was water. True. There is water outside also. Here also we have water, but then is it different from the previous one? Is everyone okay? So when he was observing coral reefs, he observed that this is happening. Third one, he found that there are patches of calcareous material. Patches of calcareous material in a circular, semicircular, horseshoe type shape, and there is no island or anything, any land close to it. Get it? So this was called fringing reef. This was called barrier reef, and this was called atoll. So there are three types of reef given by or observed by Charles Darwin. Now the question was that why do three types of reef exist? Why do they exist the way they exist wherever they exist? तो ऐसी क्यों होती? मैं ऐसा क्यों? True or not? So many people were interested in looking at it. So Charles Darwin, you know that he was a famous naturalist. वो भी अपना दिमाग लगाएगा. Yes. So he gave a theory, and many other people gave their theories. So those theories, all those theories have been clubbed into two categories. दो category of theories हैं to explain coral formation, coral reef formation, as well as to explain coral reef formation, as well as the material, the life cycle, and the stages. Do we get that? So पहली theory क्या है? वो चार्ल्स डार्विन ने दी. He calls this as subsidence theories. What is subsidence theory? Let us look at that. What is subsidence theory, everyone? Pay attention to this. He says generally coral reefs are benthic. They will require a surface to grow on. So he says islands are a suitable area for the growth of corals. Corals grow on the margin of the island, the shallow region, the shelf of it. Is everyone okay? So as a result, one can see coral growth happening all around the island. So can I say this, everyone, is the top view and this is the side view? Are you making it? Okay, sir, आप ऐसा कर रहे थे, मैं तो ऐसे notes बना रहा था. So keep an eye on your notes that I'm trying to give you a map also, types also. This is how you can present in your answer also. Interspersed with paragraphs. With me on this? Now what he says is this land is not stable. Land subsides. So this island goes down. When this island goes down, see, sea level will remain the same. Sea level will remain the same. But the level of the mountain will go down. Do we get that? So where was the ridge? The calcareous ridge also goes down. Okay, so that part has gone down. And the sea is here. So can you see the island is there? Now what happens to the coral is, remember, corals can survive only in shallow water. So as gradually it is going down, the corals will try to multiply and grow close to the surface. And we will find that coral will reach here. So ऐसे coral reef उसको चारों तरफ से surround करेगा. Is everyone okay? If I say this is all water, can I say around this there will be coral reefs? Here we had coral reef touching it everywhere. But in this case, there will be a gap between the coral and the edge. Everyone with me around this or not? ये तो ऐसा बनता है. इसमें क्या बन रहा है? Something, and then there are gaps in between. And can you see there is water? This water is what? This is the water that separates the coral from the mountain or the island. Is everyone okay? Are you able to understand the diagram? And why has it happened? It has happened because of subsidence, because of the surface going down. Is everyone okay? Now books में ऐसे diagram Savan Singh ने दिए होंगे, very complex. ये simple straight away. He says eventually what will happen is this whole thing goes down. Whole thing goes down. But the water level remains the same. Now you're left with only water on the surface. And you find corals. you still find corals. Now the question is, how can corals be floating? They are not floating, remember. They still have their base around the mountain. So he is of the belief that coral reefs are nothing. The types of reefs are nothing. They are progressive stages of subsiding landmass and coral interaction. Again, फिर वो youth mature senile वाला idea आता है कि there is a life cycle. You start with this, you keep sinking, and you eventually go out. So this is what Darwinian idea is. Charles Darwin's idea. This set of theory is called the subsidence theory. Everyone with me on this? So we are looking at theories also. So GS वाले को तो नहीं बताई जाती theories, उसको तो सिर्फ ये बताया जाता है. True. Let me zoom it. Types of reef according to nature and mode. Fringing reef. Is everyone okay? Next to it, boulder zone, reef flat. Can you read it? How does it look? Is the diagram telling you something? Can you see this is thing? ये ऐसा है, वो नीचे गया, and finally है. So this is how books are making diagrams, and I also made my diagram. Which diagram is better? Which diagram is more interactive? Did I make it in the previous batch? No, I don't remember doing that. आपके batch के साथ ऐसा बना दिया मैंने. Every time I'm thinking, how would I show it? How would I depict it? I depict it my way. ये भी गलत नहीं. This is not wrong. This is another way of showing it. If you like it, you put it in your diagram book. You put it that way in your diagram book. So first is fringe. As it is deepening, then what is happening? Barrier, and after barrier, so this is fringing reef, this is barrier reef, and finally, the whole landmass has gone down. With me on this? Okay. So please write down. Give the heading: Theories of Origin and Formation of Coral Reefs. Theories of origin and formation of coral reefs. Please write down. Coral reefs of the tropical waters. Coral reefs of the tropical waters across the world. Coral reefs of tropical waters across the world. Tropical waters across the world have presented an enigma. Enigma is a puzzle to the naturalists, biologists across the world since the age of exploration. Since the age of exploration. Different theorists have tried to arrive at a view. Explaining the types and characteristics. Of the coral reef samples. Types and characteristics of the coral reef samples. And observations. Samples and observations seen across the world. All these views and ideas can be clubbed under two broad categories of theories. Number one, subsidence theory. Number two, standstill theory. So different scholars have given their view. Either they will fall under the subsidence school of thought or in the standstill school of thought. I hope you've already understood. Subsidence means the land is subsiding and it is the water which stays there and the coral has to match up. The standstill theory says the land has been stable, but the water has changed. Positive and negative movement. Remember, water has changed. In one case, water is there, land has changed. And in this case, the land is constant, water has changed. And as a result, the corals had to adapt. Both the cases, corals को survive करने के लिए, they had to adapt. But the situation that led to the change was, in subsidence theory, the land mass is subsiding with the sea level, and the standstill theory, the sea level is subsiding or changing vis-a-vis the coastal land area. Everyone with me on this? Clear? Okay, so let's write down about subsidence theories first. Subsidence theories, please write down. This set of theories is based on the idea that corals grow along land masses. Corals grow along land masses in coastal regions. Land masses in coastal regions. Full stop. These land masses experience some kind of subsidence. Thereby progressively get submerged. Full stop. In response to this subsidence, the coral reefs adapt to acquire their three types. The leading proponents of this set of theories are Charles Darwin, well supported by Davis. Remember W.M. Davis and Dana. The Darwinian theory, next paragraph, the Darwinian theory, given in 1837 and modified subsequently in 1842. The Darwinian theory given in 1837, modified subsequently in 1842, emphasizes that the three types of coral reefs are nothing but three sequential stages of adaptation. They are nothing but three sequential stages of adaptation. To the changing sea level. And draw diagrams. कौन सा diagram बनाएंगे? Will you draw these from the booklet or from what I told you? ये भी बना सकते हैं, explain कर सकते हैं. Sir, how can we consider that he is correct? Evidence of theory given in handout PDF. Evidence क्या है? Evidence is given in the PDF. सर ये थोड़ी लिखेंगे वहाँ पर. अरे notes में तो लिख लो. तुम्हें तो पता होना चाहिए कहाँ पर. You to at least write down. You should know where it is. So what is the evidence? So generally coral reef, where will you find up to what depth will you find coral reefs? Up to 200 meters. Yes or no? Now when he was conducting his studies in the Pacific Islands, he found that coral reef material was found up to a depth of 1200 meters. How can coral reef be 1200 meters deep? So he's of the opinion that it grew around a rock only, but what happened? That rock went down. Yes or no? Subsidence happened. That is why coral material is here. Is everyone okay? Do we get that? So ऐसा उनके टाइम में था. He went and measured where? Society group of islands. Society group of islands. You don't have to write down. Later on, when modern science developed, तब in an atoll called Bikini Atoll. मुझे भी लगा ये नाम आसानी से याद हो जाएगा. Bikini Atoll में seismic refraction studies were conducted, which showed calcareous material up to a depth of 1500 meters. ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. So one is he could find calcareous material much deeper, much more deeper than 200 meters. So he said that is why I'm saying this. Is everyone okay? That is why I'm saying this. So what has happened is land has gone down. Land has gone down. So corals are just trying to live with that. So their roots have gone that deep only because of what I suggested, that they are growing progressively. Is everyone with me on this? Check what next then. इसके बाद क्या था? Now this is a mountain, coastal mountain. Get it? What will the coast do to the mountain? It will cause cycle of erosion. Yes or no? Cycle of erosion will begin. The waves will hit, and coastal erosion will happen. You know, coastal landforms also, cave, cove, stack, everything, love, वो सब बनेगा today. What will be the final stage? What will be the erosional surface that we will be left with? What will happen finally? So the waves will keep on cutting it, and you know what? ये पूरा erode हो जाएगा. This part also, ऐसे the waves will create a protrusion like this. Yes or no? And then what will happen is this block will also fall someday, and we will be left with something like this. This is what wave erosion does. If you've seen the Davison cycle for the landforms, and I said if we look at that, otherwise also. So what is created, everyone? क्या बन गया ये? Remember wave cut platforms. Do you understand how geomorphology is important to read oceanography? And what is this vertical face called as? Cliff escarpment. True or not? For this to happen, waves must be hitting. And will it happen in 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 10 years, 100 years, millions of years? Millions of years. Yes, sir? Millions of years. Now, everyone, have you heard Shanghai is about to sink? Shanghai डूब जाएगा. Kolkata can sink. Bangladesh डूबेगा. Why? Why will Bangladesh submerge? Everyone? Why will Bangladesh submerge? Just because sea level changes. Do sea level changes keep on happening? Yes, sir. It is very normal sea levels to change. Now imagine if sea level are changing. If sea level are changing, can a cliff be formed? You need to hit same place for millions of years. But if the sea level changes, can the cliff form? You will hit, but you will not get that time for millions of years, no? Yes. So wherever cliff is there, for a geomorphologist, that signifies crustal stability. Absence of cliff means the lithosphere is not stable. Can be rising or sinking, rising or subsiding. True or not? So we have a scientific idea with us, and we have Darwin also. Heady collection. Darwin comes and says, reefs, wherever reefs are there, cliffs are missing. Remember, I told you Wegener, moment he saw corals in temperate, he said, kuch gadbad hai. Moment you are seeing that coral is there and no cliff is there, does it mean that there must not have been stability? That is why. And is he proposing that things are not stable? Is he not saying that things are subsiding? So is it an evidence in support or not? Absence of cliff is an evidence in support or not? If cliff was there, then what's the problem? You are saying that it is subsiding or sinking, but if cliff is there, that means it is not changing. So he says, see, what I'm saying is correct. और ये किसने सपोर्ट किया? ये हमारे, उन्होंने भी सपोर्ट किया, डेविस ने भी सपोर्ट किया. ठीक है? अच्छा, एक बात बताइए एवरीवन. There is this mountain. Yes or no? Mountain has got valleys in it. Coastal. And this is seawater. True? If this sinks, what will happen? Will water enter in these shallow areas or not? In these valleys or not? Yes or no? If this is sinking, with time, if this sinks, will this happen? The shape of the coastline, will it change or not? If it is subsiding. If it is not subsiding, will it change? If it is not subsiding, will it change or not? No. Can I say that what is happening is, this is creation of a bay. Bays are created if land is sinking. Yes or no? Bays will be created. Wherever we have many bays, that shows that land is sinking. Can I say with time, as this one goes deeper, और नीचे चला गया, suppose, so will the valleys sink more deep or not? True. How would the coastline look? Everyone, are you with me? Are you understanding the concept? So wherever we have a coastal island or something which has such bays, lot of bays in it, ऐसे पानी घुस आया उसमें, they signify what? They signify subsidence. Do we get that? They signify subsidence. So Davis, remember Davis, W.M. Davis said that presence of indented coastline and embayed shorelines, presence of indented coastline and embayed shorelines near reefs or barrier reefs support what? Support subsidence. Is everyone okay? Absence of cliff support subsidence. Presence of bays support subsidence. Is everyone okay? So Charles Darwin ने theory तो दी, but the theory is not just in random. Theories is not just in random. Is everyone okay? So he says, what are the three reefs? The three reefs are progressive stages. Number one, fringing reef. Number two, barrier reef. And in between, what is created? This water body. What is this water body called? Everyone? Lagoon. And further it goes down, and in fact the whole thing is gone. और ये आपका water हो गया, ocean on this side, and everywhere a circular this thing is formed, and what will it be? Atoll. Do you get that? And what is happening to the eroded ones? Their sediments are getting collected. Sediments are getting collected. True or not? Now the critics had a question. What is the question? Number one, can an island, or let me ask you, can a person be infant and senile at the same time? बूढ़ा बच्चा सोच सकते कि नहीं? Have you watched that movie, The Story of Benjamin Button? मूवी है Story of Benjamin Button. It's a curious case of Benjamin Button. उस मूवी का नाम है Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So Benjamin is born as a child. He's born with all those wrinkled skin and all, like an old person. An old infant is born, Benjamin Button. Yes. As he grows older, he becomes younger. And when in old age, he is like a child. He is reverse aging. Curious case of Benjamin Button. Fiction. Movie में तो कुछ भी बना सकते हैं, yes or no? And the good thing is, movie makers are not UPSC aspirant. Otherwise, they would have just written mechanically the PDF. Yes or no? I think कौन है इसमें बेंजामिन बटन में? Who's the star? DiCaprio? I think DiCaprio. Leonardo नहीं. अच्छा Brad Pitt है. Okay, Brad Pitt. So anyways, normally do we have infant and senile together? No, because there are two different stages. Can we have fringing and barrier together? No, sir. First fringing comes, then barrier. Yes or no? So if the theory is correct, then that should be there. But they found fringing reef on one side and barrier on the other side. They said, how is it possible? How is it possible that one side of the island has fringing and the other side of the island has barrier if there are two stages? Question mark. हो गया कि नहीं हो गया? True. So what should happen to the depth of the lagoon if subsidence is happening? Should the depth remain constant? Should it increase or should it decrease? As subsidence is happening, what should happen to the depth of lagoon? It should increase because you're going down, so it should become deeper. Yes, it was found fairly constant everywhere. Fairly constant across all atolls. They checked all atolls. The lagoon is more or less the same depth. Question mark or not? Third one, killer one. They actually found cliff and reef. अब बताओ बचा क्या है? अब तो सब चंगा सी. Cliff and reef दोनों मिल गया. अब तो troll army will be released or not? ये anti national है. So another set of scholars sat down. They said कुछ तो घपला है. Darwin का ideas may have some errors. There has to be something else to explain. in that set of scholars is called the standstill theorists. क्या लिखेंगे? Standstill theories. Please write down standstill theories. पहले नाम लिख देते हैं इसमें. Murray, Agassiz, Gardiner, Dali. Is everyone okay? So पहला कहता है subsidence set of theories. Now we have the standstill set of theories. So please write down. The standstill theorists believe that it is not the land that is subsiding. It is not the land that is subsiding as suggested by Darwin. It is not the land which is subsiding as suggested by Darwin. Rather, the coral reef formation is a result of response to rise and fall of sea level around stable land masses. This results in the creation of wave cut platforms and submarine benches. This leads to the creation of wave cut platforms and submarine benches at appropriate depths, acting as suitable submarine platforms, upon which the corals grow. Is everyone with me on this? Are you with me on this? अब इसमें एक थ्योरी भी बता देता हूँ. वन थ्योरी, डालीज ग्लेशियल कंट्रोल थ्योरी. So Dali was studying the coral reefs. Yes or no? Coral reefs. Now tell me, can coral reefs survive in freezing waters? No. Can coral reefs survive outside water? No. Can coral reefs survive in sediment-rich water? No. Can coral reefs survive in strong waves? No. They require calm submerged conditions of shallow depth. True. Now, Dali says, coral reef originated 300 million years ago. Is everyone okay? Remember, they originated 300 million years ago. And he says that around 2 million years ago, we had something called as a Pleistocene ice age. True or not? Pleistocene ice age. If ice age was there, what will happen to the mean sea level? Mean sea level will fall. And he calculated that during that glaciation, 60 to 69 meter fall happened. Globally, sea level had fallen by 60 to 69 meter. Is everyone okay? Now imagine, if coral reefs were alive from 300 million years ago, around this time, will they get exposed? Preferable depth is 50 meters. Will they get exposed or not? Will they die? Some of them, which are at 69 meter depth, imagine they are at 69 meter, because they can grow up. They cannot grow down, no? You can grow up. If subsidence is happening, you're growing up. That's okay. But you've already grown, you can't grow down. So will you die of exposure? If the water goes down, will you die of exposure? They will die. Suppose you did not get exposed, but water just reached that surface. Get that? Remember, that is surface layer. Surface layer is the one which is disturbed the most. waves will come and strike, and everywhere turbidity will be there. Everything will happen or not? Erosion will happen. तो भी टूटेगा. So he says that all the coral reefs that we are talking about 300 million years or whatever, they're all gone. वो तो सब मर गए. The modern day corals are from or were formed only after Pleistocene. Are you with me? समझ में आता है नहीं आता? सही बोलो. लॉजिक है डाली के पास. Absolute logic है. They will die because of exposure, or because of wave erosion, or because of turbidity. मरेगा तो पक्का. Whatever are they, this thing. So then, what is he suggesting? Very simple. He's suggesting that see, this is there. This is the sea level. Normal sea level. Hear that? During Pleistocene, the sea level falls. Sea level falls during Pleistocene. Sea level comes here. What happens to the corals? What happens to the corals? Die. Finito. Whatever were the corals in this, they die. Now the new sea level starts acting on this and creates what? Wave cut platform. इसने create किया. Remember, because of erosion. So how has this become? How does it look now? It looks like this. Are you okay? Make sense what Dali is saying? True. Now the sea level is rising back. So the corals started growing. And as the sea level is rising, they grow. True. Possible. They grow. If the platform is narrow, and the sea level has come back to the normal, yes or no? Then which reef? Fringing reef. If the platform is wider, then which reef? Barrier reef. And can there be a situation that the entire platform got eroded? Yes or no? And now what is happening? It is growing. Because of the ice age, suitable conditions were created, which created at this depth platforms, submarine platforms upon which the corals have grown. And what is created over here? Atolls are created. Can we have fringing and barrier on the same island now? Everyone, can we have fringing and barrier on the same island now? Possible. Can we have atolls? So they checked for it. They actually found that in many cases, atolls were on platforms which were at a depth of around 60 to 70 meters. Bingo. ऐसा नहीं था कि he was doing it and people found it out. He found it, and based on his observation, he gave his theory, which is called the glacial control theory. कहाँ पे मिला? Hawaii Islands पे उसने study किया. He studied in the Hawaii Islands. He observed these things, that they are at 60 to 69 meters. Some of them are on isolated platforms. Some of them are on an island on either side of the island. So then he said, I think they all connect up to tell me this. And he named his theory as glacial control theory. I hope you've done that. And because of the sea level fall, sea level change led to the creation of suitable submarine platforms and benches. Suitable submarine platform and benches. Is everyone okay? So ये क्या हो गए? These are wave cut platforms. And what is this? This is a bench. So bench क्या होता है? जैसे bench पे बैठते हैं वो है. That is a bench. Everyone with me? Time is over there. Coral bleaching पे तो बात ही नहीं हुआ. We have to talk about wave coral bleaching also. So anyways, let me expand this. Where are we? Is everyone clear about the three types by Darwin? Darwin and his supporters, and all the evidence is there, various atolls in Fiji, Trunk, and all those things. All those evidences I've collected and put it for you. Please read from the material. I'll post this material class के बाद. कल कोई छुट्टी है तो इसको पढ़ लेना. Shallow lagoons, coral banks, submerged and raised reefs. So all these reefs he was explaining. According to the location, we can call them tropical coral reef. Yes. What is a lagoon? What is a reef? That also we have added. Okay. Next, what is various theories? Subsidence theories. Do we have subsidence theories? Sir, शाम को extra class ले लो. पूर्वी आज तो थोड़ा मुश्किल है. But if you are okay, then I can. But फिर वही हो जाएगा. Many people will not be informed. I don't want them to miss. I'll take a special class someday on this. Don't worry. Okay. Evidence in favor of Davis, evidence is given over here. Non-subsidence evidence is also given over here, everyone. Non-subsidence evidence is also given over here. So that's also there. Murray का and Murray की theory, Dalian की theory सबकी यहाँ पर दी हुई है. But we are just looking the theory at Dali. You don't have to remember all of them. So all arguments for the theory. Can you see this? These are the platforms which are being Gardner's theory, Agassiz theory. So everyone they are there, but you will write for Dali. Dali I have shown you with diagrams. Otherwise, I did not want you to miss any theory, so that is why it has been put in the material also. Glacial control theory of Dali. Can you see this? So there is a diagram. Look at these diagrams and the diagrams which I have made. Those are easier ones. Supporting Dali, argument against Dali. So whatever were the arguments supporting Darwin, they will challenge Dali. Yes or no? So this is how the theories are there. So finish the theories. Which theory is correct? Which theory is correct finally? Subsidence is accepted as correct. Subsidence theory are the main theories. And the standstill theories are considered as a complementary to explain exceptions. Do we get it? So Saurabh says Dali. Obviously, when I told you Dali, तो सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगता है. But it was found that it was only at a few places in Hawaii and something we were able to get that because he was working in Hawaii. He had a sample from Hawaii, so we saw that is there. But broadly, wherever coral reefs are there, mostly subsidence is seen. So did I resolve this also the debate? Why this is happening? So this is there. Is everyone with me on this? Are we clear? Any questions? Any questions? So I'm thinking that on the 30th, next Saturday, we can do it double. Next Saturday, I'll keep it on Saturday, 2 classes. So where we will complete this oceanography. Today, I did not announce, I did not tell the students, so I don't want to miss it. What are we left with? The next topic is coral bleaching. I want you to read that. I'm left with coral bleaching. I'm left with waves and tides. Is everyone okay? These are the 3 things left. This will be done next Saturday. 30th what? 30th April. Okay? I'll take double. I'll take a double session in that. Did you understand whatever was there? Do you have sufficient ideas for marine pollution? You can use that at multiple places as well as corals. I hope your understanding about corals has improved with this. If you have doubts, well, I would say put them, look for some videos, interesting interactive videos, share it on the group channel and don't share coaching walas. Coaching walon ka phir se ki master ji ye bata rahe the wo bata rahe the. Look at some scientific bodies which are giving more better interpretations which helps us in visualization. Is everyone okay? So thanks a lot for patiently listening to me and participating in this. And I don't want to leave anything hanging in oceanography. So Saturday we will finish this and I'll announce a class. I don't want people to miss on that. Okay, that? Thank you. Tonight we are not having a class on PYQs. Tomorrow evening, make sure you are there. Current PYQs, environment related PYQs. That's what we'll do. Thank you. Bye-bye.